All right, and yeah, we are now getting ready to go into the game here. So, having seen the drafts come out, what are you guys thinking?
Um, well, I'm excited to see the Varus top. Again, I think it's a very dominant pick in lane and even in team fights later.
Yeah, I think so. We'll see how it does into the Ornn. We also do have that Kha'Zix coming out. Oh wait, sorry, wait, no, this is the wrong draft. The sec.
It was Kindred Wukong.
Yeah, it's sorry. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it will be the Kindred into the Wukong in the jungle. I think that's a pretty interesting to matchup to see. Both of these champions, after getting a few items, can become very powerful. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think the backline carries of red side have some pretty good ways of healing themselves. Xayah with the ult and Kindred with her own ult. And they also have Soraka backing them up. So if we get into an extended team fight and these 280 carries can just keep firing off damage, then especially since blue side doesn't really have a true frontliner, Wukong can frontline, but isn't as tanky as say Ornn. We'll have to see how these team fights play out.
Yeah, for sure. I'm also think there might be a lot of plays happening around this mid lane with Ari and Annie both having pretty solid CC options. They could be able to set up their junglers pretty nicely and maybe transition their leads into other lanes if they're able to build those up.
Yeah, on that note too, blue side with Varus all Ari Charm and like Thresh Hook, they have a lot of pick potential. So we'll have to see if members of red side can stay safe while walking to and from their lanes and through jungle and river.
Yeah, for sure. We'll probably see the Autumn opting for something like a Mikhail's here to potentially deny some of that pick potential and help her teammates. But yeah, that especially in the early game, that could be some pretty free kills for the side of Platinum players' Poggies. As it looks like we're about ready to head in. Oh, sorry, never mind. We still have 3 minutes. Forgot about the spectator delay. Yeah, I think I'm interested to see how this bot lane 2v2 does end up. I would expect the Xayah and Soraka to be favored in the initial 2v2. Soraka having excellent poke in lane, and if Xayah is able to catch out, maybe if they're able to catch out Ezreal in the Soraka silence, they could land a pretty crucial callback on the feathers and start to get a pretty big advantage in that lane.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. In lane, at least the 2v2 should go to Xayah, Soraka. But obviously there is potential for if Thresh catches either of the bot laners, there is a high chance for them to kill still.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see if with more gank setup in the bot lane, maybe Nightstawn and Jason will look more towards that lane this game than they did last game, where it felt like everything was happening in the top side. So yeah, I guess going into the game, guys, who do you think won this draft? Who would you give the edge to here?
Personally, I'd give it to the Varus top just because I think that's how broken it is.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that comes to be true.
One of the factors that could save a team from the Varus top is the Kindred ulti, because you can't really go through that. But we'll have to see, because maybe they don't expect the amount of damage the Varus top build actually does.
Yeah, with there is a bit of a lack of sort of a traditional super tank frontline for the side of Platinum players Poggies. So if Autumn's team of 2 mid laners is able to get ahead early on, it might be a bit hard for Platinum players Poggies to find their way into some of these river plays around these objectives without finding a crucial Wukong flank or something like that. They're going to have to rely on picks.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. I feel like besides the Wukong, blue side doesn't really have that many great ways of getting onto the Soraka, the Xayah, the Kindred. So we'll have to see if maybe just getting a pick or two can turn these crucial objective fights. Otherwise, I think it might be hard for blue side to win these team fights.
Yeah, I think especially with that Soraka being able to answer the poke of Platinum players Poggies, once she's able to pick up like Warmogs, it might be hard for them to take advantage of the Varus and the Ezreal in the same way they can in the early game, and we could see Autumn's team, 2 mid laners, able to sort of win out these mid game fights by getting positioning on these objectives. We should be about to load into the game here, as we unfortunately have a pause immediately. We'll see if we can get this resolved quickly enough, but I guess we will use the opportunity to look at some of the runes and summoner spells that the teams have opted to go for here. And yeah, okay, we're into the game pretty quick. So Chesto opting for the press the attack. Is that what you'd normally take on the Varus top lane?
Yeah, that is actually what you take. And it looks like the pretty standard Varus top runes with barrier, flash.
Yeah, and we do see First Strike coming out for Hoptech. I think that might be a little bit rough to proc in this lane. I might have opted for the Electrocute here with Jason having that range advantage and being able to get those Qs off. But maybe it'll work out for him. Rags going for Ghost. A bit risky. I think I might have liked the cleanse here, as we see Chesto, or actually all of Chesto's team heading up to the top side for an invade, but they aren't matched for anyone, so we'll probably just see some vision going down.
And one thing to note about the anti-first strike is if you put your E on yourself, you'll always proc it in a trade.
Oh, Ornn coming up here. Maybe will get picked off. Does see them and is able to back off. So lucky timing for Euphonia, as that could have been a really dangerous moment. And yeah, with Platinum players Poggies able to place down those early wards, they will see where the Kindred is starting, as Night's Dawn is starting completely off vision, so that should give him the advantage in the early jungle. Hoptech with a nice short little trade here, although Jason able to trade back some damage.
Another thing to note is Euphonia opted to take the Unsealed Spellbook because Grasp would be impossible to proc in this lane.
And yeah, things seem to be going well for Chesto early on, getting a little bit more CS than that first wave, but that's about what you'd expect from the ranged versus melee matchup. Hoptech trading alright into this Ahri. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Euphonia will do to stop this Varus from getting too far ahead in the lane, as it's probably going to be pretty hard.
We see Night's Dawn moving into the red side jungle.
As he will get onto Babbles, able to W over the wall. The flash coming out from Babbles, the flash auto Q is enough to finish off the kill for Wukong, as that will get him quite ahead in the jungle. The Thresh landing the hook onto Rags, Korean dashing in, a nice flash, the heal coming out, and they will escape, but some advantage for the side of Platinum players Poggies.
Very smart play by Nightstorm there. As you mentioned earlier, flash hook misses, but the flay hits.
Some nice healing from Autumn, blocking the abilities from the Ezreal. Nightstorm now seeing Babbles again. If Babbles dies here, it could spell disaster for him, as it looks like he'll now be jumping back towards Nightstorm. The bot lane has arrived, but Nightstorm able to W over the wall. Hop Tech here, but he'll be jumped on. Flashes towards the Soraka, able to get the heal. Not quite enough damage to kill Hop Tech. And you know, everyone does escape, but Cridian's now landing the hook onto Babbles. Babbles jumping away, but Jason has arrived. The heal coming out from the Soraka. Will they be able to finish off the kill? The Annie shield as well. As Jason continuing to push forward, but not able to get anything for himself there.
Well, lots of songs burned in a little skirmish.
Yeah, and I think Nightstorm's starting to get very ahead in the jungle, with Kindred now having to go back to base twice early on into this game.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to pick up the double scuttle, and which also includes the mark with no problem.
Yeah, and Jason doing pretty well into this Annie early in the lane, winning out on some of these trades, building up a little CS lead, and able to rotate first to help his team in that fight.
Uptech is trading back, though.
Oh, Cridian's now jumping on Rags, misses the hook, but the Flay lands. The heal's coming out from the Soraka. She's not blocking for him, but will get the return kill onto Cridian, or onto Kurian, excuse me, at least.
Yeah, though, obviously, you would prefer your AD carry to get the kill instead of the support.
Yeah, but at least they do get that trade kill, and the wave is frozen outside of the turret, so that will help Rags to boss a little bit in this lane, at least. Cridian's continuing to try to shove in this lane, but he might have bitten off a little too more than he can chew. Is able to back off before the Xayah can arrive.
Yeah, just 5 minutes in, we see a 1.5k gold lead on the side of PPP. A lot of that coming from the top jungle CS difference. Also, mid CS difference too.
Babel's opting to start up the dragon pretty early here, but the entire bot side of Platinum players Poggies is nearby. But Nightstorm seems to be backing, so they might be able to sneak this away.
Definitely a smart play.
Yeah, nicely done by the side of what is it? Two mid laners is actually. Let me change the labels here, as I think they're currently not correct. Let me fix that. It is two.
We see Hoptech going in for an all-in against Jason, forcing out Jason's ult, but Hoptech expending his ult in the process.
Yeah, nicely done by Hoptech to use Tibbers to get priority in this lane. Jason now without TP will have to back off, and that will allow Kindred to secure the spot side crab.
You do see Nightstorm securing the topside jungle of Babbles, though.
As Ezreal now trading on to Rags and Autumn, and well done by Rags to land that stun despite the mobility of the Ezreal, and they're able to get a pretty favorable trade down there. Korean's now very low on HP. Starting to get a bit worried for Euphonia up in this top lane, getting very low and under his turret. Maybe Varus could land enough poke to get the kill down under the turret.
Especially if he keeps eating the triple
Oh,
auto.
lands
into...
the Q coming out. Not quite enough damage to finish him off. The flash coming out from the Ornn. The Ornn will live, but it looks like he'll use the Call of the Forge God just to clear the wave.
We see Nightstone, though, creeping his way up. If Euphonius has to stay, I think that might be the end of him.
Yeah, I don't know how he's surviving this one. They will opt to give the kill to Chesto here. Does take a bit of damage, but nowhere near enough to go down, still having that barrier up.
Yeah, and Rags the Boss and Autumn taking some plates in the bot lane. Probably coming off those favorable trades on their side, forcing Korean and Koreans to take a unfortunate back.
Yeah, the mid lane still pretty even. Jason was able to get a little bit of a CS lead in the early game, but hasn't managed to extend it at all. But Chesto once again seems to be running away with the top lane up. Let's see here. Yeah, it's almost 2,000 gold lead again for him, and we'll see if he can continue to extend that as we go into the later parts of the lane phase here.
Yeah, I'd imagine this matchup only gets worse. I think the percent HP scaling will just keep getting better and better for Chesto, especially since Euphonia had to grab the Bomby Cinder for some wave clear, so not fully itemized into MR.
Nightstone now jumping onto Euphonia again, but definitely not enough damage to get that kill. He was able to secure the Rift Herald, but Hoptech now in the bot side pops the Tivers onto Kurian, lands all of his abilities, continuing to trade, lands the Q. Will he be able to finish him off? Another Q, and Babble's flashing in to help secure the kill. Actually, it was a solo kill. I guess that flash a bit unnecessary there.
Maybe you wanted the mark.
Yeah, I guess so. As the hook lands, Jason has now arrived. A nice Lamb's Respite is enough to prevent him from getting any kills back.
Actually, the mark's on Wukong.
Well, I don't know, I guess. Wukong now jumping in the top lane, and Euphonia, despite being a tank, just not able to survive under his turret. As with the Herald again, we could see Chesto getting way too far ahead in this lane.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very dangerous for the Ornn in this top lane now. Up almost 60 CS as well as almost a full tower, or a full tower.
Yeah, having killed that tower now up 3,000 gold on his lane opponent is, we're seeing what happened last game starting to happen again.
And his cold is not even finished.
Oh, jeez.
3 CS.
On the bright side, Ornn is winning in terms of the vision score, so yeah, you can take what you can get.
A whole single one.
One difference from last game to this game is that Chesto's on a more squishy backliner this game as opposed to a brawler like Jax. So maybe there's some opportunity to try to burst him down if they get a good anti-stun or something like that onto him, even if he's really ahead.
That is true, as it seems like Chesto has smartly opted for the Mercury Treads, which will make that opportunity even harder.
We do see...
Least, so getting 2 dragons for his team early game will be pretty good for him, but yeah, I don't know if they'll have enough to catch back up with how far ahead Chesto is here. Euphonia now dumping onto Nightstone, but that'll be the extent of his damage there, and I think Nightstone will be sitting pretty comfortably here.
The Soul be Inferno, which is really good for both sides. And it would likely blue team would start to contest from 3rd Drake onwards.
Yeah, I think once Chesto starts showing up to these objectives, it's going to be a different story for these team fights.
As another ult landed, lands the Q as well. Euphonia jumping on to Nightstone, but with everyone here, the Soraka ult coming out, but not quite enough to save Euphonia as he'll go down yet again. And, Chesto now taking down the 2nd turret. Just way too far ahead, up 3.5k gold in this lane.
Yeah, Kindred has definitely been spending her. Oh, but we see a brawl happening in the mid lane.
Yeah, as Hoptech missed the R onto Jason, and Jason able to secure the solo kill as well. The team now up 6,000 gold. This is a disaster.
Yeah, I was saying that Kindred is definitely spending her efforts in the bot lane, but I don't think the advantage Kindred created in the bot lane is going to be enough to bridge this huge differential in the top lane. Luckily, they did get the 2 dragons, so they've got that going for them. But still, as you mentioned, the 6K gold lead is definitely going to start becoming more and more apparent.
For sure. And Euphonia really struggling. Not even getting to his first item as you have the Varus way too strong. Now down nearly 7,000 gold. Is there anything you can see the side of 2 mid laners doing to catch back into this game?
Well, they do have Annie still, and even with the Merc Treads, there is a chance for them to pick off the Varus, as he is not as elusive as Jax.
Yeah, we did see the Varus R miss in the mid lane, but already coming back up and without any objectives, I don't know if that'll be too big of a deal for their side. It's starting to seem like Ornn is not the blind pick into Chesto, though. That's working too well here. And yeah, Babbles looks to be caught out again. Does pop the Lamb's Respite, able to live for a little. The Annie ult coming out, and they're trying to finish off Nightstone, but it won't be quite enough damage. Is a 1-for-0 in favor of Platinum players Poggy so far. Charm lands onto Euphonia, takes a little bit more damage, but not enough to go down. Rags the Boss now caught out by the hook. Chesto dealing quite a bit of damage, pops the Q and the E enough to finish off the kill. Jason now jumping in with the Charm. Nightstone there as well. They are able to finish off the Wukong, but at what cost here? Chesto lands yet another Q. Ari jumping in again, flashes out and able to secure 2 more kills for the side of Platinum players Poggies. The Baron not even up yet, not even the second Rift Herald, and they're up almost 10,000 gold.
Not like this.
Kurian able to finish off that bot turret too, extending the gold lead even further.
Are we able to check how many marks the Kindred has? Because that 0-0 scoreline is not inspiring a lot of confidence.
Yeah, let's see here if we can. He does have 3 marks, so almost at that attack range boost. But I'm not sure if that'll be enough to really help him out here. Chesto pops the ult again, not able to land it, and does continue trading though, so he'll be A-okay on this one. Rags is able to secure an objective bounty in the bot lane, which is something, getting a little bit gold back for his team, but they're still down nearly 10,000 at 16 minutes, and Jason now jumping onto Hoptech does miss the charm, but way too much damage coming out, and Jason able to get yet another kill onto the Annie.
Game's looking grim, but they're trying to get soul point here. If they do get it, could possibly stall out the game a little longer.
Yeah, Euphonia might be a bit far forward here as the Varus ult lands and they're able to finish off the Ornn. Nightstone continuing to chase forward. Not quite in range for the Eon to Autumn, and the rest of the team is able to escape, but yeah, with this Dragon now going down 4 Platinum players Poggies, that they won't get on soul point. I don't know what they can do. Hoptech gets charms, takes a bit of damage, but the healing from Rocket Yeah, that gold lead ticks to exactly 10k, and only 17 minutes into the game. It's hard to imagine how they're going to stop this Varus. Euphonia now jumping onto Chesto with the ult, but there isn't quite enough follow-up for them to really do anything, and Chesto able to escape again. Rags the Boss has arrived. Maybe they can go on to Chesto here, but Nightstone here as well goes in with the Cyclone, able to not quite finish off with Euphonia as the nice healing coming out from Autumn, but with Chesto here to finish off the damage, they're able to secure 2 kills, and Nightstone now chasing down Autumn, does use the flash and able to finish her off. Babble's going down as well, and now up 16-3 in kills, up 12,000 in gold at 19 minutes. It's hard to imagine if there's anything that 2 mid laners can do.
Yeah, I was really impressed by Chesto's play there. Rags the Boss went for a flash feather pullback, but I think Chesto anticipated it and managed to dodge it really cleanly.
And yeah, they'll start to breach the base here. The first inhibitor will probably go down soon. Jumping onto Hoptech is Nightstone, but that might have been a little bit too much. And the Xayah able to secure the kill onto Nightstone. A little bit going back, but not even a shutdown.
Yeah, I think that was a happy moment for Nightstone there. Seeing everyone respawning and deciding to go in 1v3 anyways.
Yeah, doing a little bit of forfunning it, but up 12 kills at this point in the game. It's hard to imagine that it'll mean anything. Autumn now getting jumped on by Cridians. The Ezreal is here, able to finish off Autumn. Euphonia has arrived, but with Chesto here, it's hard to imagine how 2 mid laners can win this fight. Babble's now getting very low, not quite able to finish off Cridians as the Arcane Shift in finishes off the kill.
That's tragic.
Looking very grim.
Yeah, Jason here alone, but does manage to pop the spell shield with the Ornn Q, but misses the ult and now has to run away. Jason even ulting forward into 2 members, and yeah, Jason feeling very confident here in the bot lane as his team starts up the Baron. Yeah, the Baron going down 4 Platinum players. Poggies puts them up 15,000 gold at only 21 minutes into the game. Jason now landing the charm onto Rags the Boss, but he will start running away. Rags the Boss pops the Ghost, pops the Gale Force. Hoptech has arrived, but misses the ult. The Q coming out, they do continue to chase down Jason. It looks like he will go down, does land a charm, but the last few autos from Xayah should be enough. But meanwhile, their base is starting to go down.
Yeah, at this point, Red Side is just happy to take what they can get.
2 win-hits going.
I don't know if they're too happy, but they did go for it. Ezreal now stopping the back of both Rags the Boss and Hoptech, and this game could just be over. Euphonia jumping on does land the knockup onto Chesto, but Chesto dealing way too much damage and taking way too little back, so I don't know what they can really do here. The Ezreal continuing to stall the recalls as Nightstone has arrived as well. Jumps onto Hoptech, lands the E, and Kurian able to finish off the kill. At least Rags able to finish off the recall, and they will be able to chase them down. It looks like it can prevent them from ending. Ooh. Maybe a shutdown on a Chesto here, but he might just be too tanky. As an unfortunate pause here, but oh my gosh. Well, oh no.
Not the most often.
Shoot. Okay. Well, hopefully we can get back here. It looks
more
like
time to bond.
the
Oh.
game just ended. So quite quite unfortunate delay here, but I think we can all imagine how that one went. Yeah, Chesto just way too strong there, and I think the team able to just finish off the kills and end the game.
Yeah, I think we have to use our imagination to imagine what happens.
Well,
Yeah, yet another dominant performance from Chesto. Able to, we did have to cut the tape there because that was a bit too devastating. We didn't want to show a massacre on stream. Chesto way too strong, dominating yet another Ornn in the top lane, and that's 2 games in a row where he is able to build up an insurmountable lead on his lane opponent.
I think we also have to mention Nightstone because his game plan there that game was definitely to get Chesto ahead, completely ignoring the first 2 dragons and also mid and bot lane. So it looks like the strategy of PPP of getting Chesto Giga ahead is working out for them these 2 games.
As we now have Chesto here for an interview. So yeah, after 2 dominating performances in the top lane, how are you feeling?
Yeah, playing against Ornn. Yeah. Then just laying against Ornn all game.
did you have fun?
I mean, more fun than the Ornn.
Yeah, so we've now seen 2 counter picks come out into the Ornn and just make it almost impossible for the Ornn to lane. Do you think that it was a champion gap, or do you think that the mechanics were what really allowed you to win out in those lanes?
I don't know. I saw like a LoL Dobby video on Varus top, so I was just like, I feel like I have to play Varus top now. Like, no matter the matchup, I just had to go Varus top, so I just went Varus top.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thought process in my brain the entire game.
I heard Varus top is really good into Olaf top. I think you should pick it.
Oh yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Varus top seemed very, very good into the Ornn. We also noticed that in both games, Nightstone was spending a lot of time near your lane. Do you think that he was a pretty big help in getting you ahead in those games?
Yeah, I mean, top diff is always jungle diff. So if I'm winning top, that just means my jungler is better, if you think about it. If I'm losing top, then I can just blame it on my jungler.
Never your fault, I see.
Yeah, it's just never my fault if I lose top.
I see.
So after starting with a loss in your first game in the tournament, you're now up, I believe, 4-1, or is it 3-1, something like that. And how are you guys feeling going into this round or bracket stage next week?
Should be fine. I feel like I don't really know which of the teams we're gonna be playing. Like, we're assuming we're gonna be one of the higher seeds, and they're gonna play one of the lower seeds. But I don't know which seed, like which team's gonna be which down there. They're kind of just like the same, kind of like they're all just in that tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll just get one of them and we'll deal with them. Sweep them aside.
Sweep them aside. Some bold words. We'll see if it plays out as your words.
Gets clipped. We get O2'd. Drop it to playoffs. I'm prepared.
Well, good luck on the rest of the tournament. It was nice to see you dominating these 2 games, and yeah, see you around. Good luck.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, and with that, we have a bit of a break until our next game. So see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and and then in the next game we have Habibi Hunters going up against Alan's other team. So one team actually making their debut in the tournament, so it should be pretty exciting, and hopefully you guys will look forward to that.